everyone, welcome back to Jackie's Creative Lifestyle. Today we're going to be actually doing a scrapbooking page. I've really wanted to get back into catching up on my memories that I haven't scrapbooked yet, so I'm going to start recording them on my videos for my channel. So please enjoy. The first one we're going to be doing, I'm going to use the Cool Treats set by Stampin' Up, mainly because I'm sort of been doing a few cards of those lately, and it's nice to just add a different option for that particular sweeten for you, for those that love to scrapbook. And if you don't love to scrapbook, maybe it's something you want to take a look at and learn to do. So today we're going to get started. We're going to be just doing the one 12 by 12 page. And then I have the one that goes next to that, the second page, I will do off video. But I really wanted to show you, because what I actually do is I always do two layouts, and I always do my first page to the layout as really where I do all my creative introduction to the story, and then that second page is the catch-up of the photos, and a lot more of the photos, and just adding a few of the elements that I take from my main page and popping them over to the second page and just popping them around and doing my journaling. So really this is the page. The first page of the two is always my creative page, and I will show you the whole thing finished so that you can actually see what I've done, and pictures of that will be at the end of this video. So we'll start off. First of all, I'm going to be using the Designer Series paper. This is the one I'm going to be using, the Pool Party out of the set, and we're going to get started on that. As you know, this is the Cool Treats stamp set, and you would see that in the videos that I have listed up until now using this set. Okay, it also comes with the die cuts, which we're going to be using today also. So starting off, we have our plain paper. Now the story that I'm going to be telling is my children go to a local fair, and at that fair they're allowed to enter their crafts and things, and they get judged, and they can win prizes and things like that. And my children did really well in this particular year. And so we're going to do a little at the fair scene, and of course the ice creams and everything just tie in together. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is you're going to need to cut some pieces of card. Now these pieces of card, this is not Pepper Zazz, it is Peekaboo Peach and some white cardstock, and you need to cut, how many of these have I done? I have done 8, and you need to cut them at 7.2 centimeters by 2.2 centimeters. Now I've previously done these so that we can put all this together. Now you're going to need, as I said, 8 of these, and they are going to make the top of a stall at the fair. Okay, so we're going to place those along there. Now I'm just going to show you, whoops, pop that one in that end. I'm going to show you how you get this nice little edge on your piece. So if you grab your 1-inch punch, and all I do is I just line it up and pop it in this way till it's just gone in, and then I just punch that down like that, and there I have that little piece taken off, and we get a nice little awning up there like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to adhere that up to there, and then we'll start on the next piece. Right, that's all adhered now. You just either need to use snail adhesive or just tear tape adhesive in behind, and then just place each one down. You'll need 2 pieces for the poles of the stall. Now those are, let me just check my measurement on that, because that doesn't look quite right. I will check that. It's 0.5 of a centimetre by 10.5 centimetres. Excuse me, bit of a cough. Now what you're going to need to do is just pop some glue onto the back of that, and the glue I'm going to use here is the fine tip glue, and just pop a couple of dots all the way down. Just makes things a bit easier using this, and then just pop that in. And what I did was I didn't I didn't adhere right from about here, so these can be slipped just underneath, and then just place it down. Whoops. There we go. Just hold that for a second. Then we move over to this side. Pop some glue on the back. There we go. Right, flip that over and place it about the same. Oops. It's always the way it's not going to come up. About in the same place, which is about there. Okay. The next piece you're going to put on is the actual base to the stall. Now this here measures 7.2 centimetres by 19.2 centimetres. Now to judge where to actually place this on the piece of paper, what you need to do is get the photo, and this is going to be the backing card for the photo, and then you can just work out whereabouts you would like that to sit. And you understand as we go forward where we're doing that. Okay, so I'm going to have it there. So we will just put a little mark here, a little mark here, and I can rub those off later. So then just flip that over and put some snail on. Pop it back to those marked pieces there. And just get it even there and there. Perfect. The next thing we're going to do is, this is the card, that's the backing card for the photo. So you get your photo, and then what I did was I measured just, oh dear, 2 millimeters as the borders all the way around. So really tiny. I'll grab the photo so you can see. It's just a very small framing, and that's going to go there. All right. So we will stick the photo on first. Now the reason I am sticking the photo on now instead of the end, which is what I normally do, is because I'm going to put some bunting on, and the bunting is going to go over the photo. So I need to place that in the middle of the stall, like that, and you understand how it all comes together. The next thing I want to do is grab the bunting. Oops. Now this particular bunting I used, oops, in the set we have, oops, a little die there. So use this one. This one actually cuts out the ice cream cones, but I used it to cut out the bunting. See, you use it for other options. Now what you do is you place your bunting on here and adhere it. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we've adhered those. The next little thing that you're going to do is pop these wee bows on, and that was just done with the white base twine that is in the book. So I think the best way to adhere these, I used the glue dots for in behind the flags, so I'm just going to use those again just to adhere the ends of the bunting. This makes it look like the bunting's been stringed up onto the stall. So let's get that off there and pop that onto there. There we go. That's coming together quite well. Right, next thing on the agenda is I have used, to do the title up the top there, which is Fun at the Fair, I used a Stampin' Up product, oops, which is the small letters. Now a lot of people do have this set, so I have gone with using it in this demonstration today. It isn't available in the catalogue at the moment. I'm hoping it will come back. Or any type of small letters will come back. But there are lots of other options in our catalogue for wording, for making titles and things like that. And I know that some of you probably do have your own lettering and things. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this lettering on. Now I've used the designer series paper to make the words on this. And, whoops, I think it's all going to go together really well. So I'll just pop this all on here and I'll be back in a second. So we're going to just start off, I'll just show you first of all, with fun, F, where are we, U, and we've got an N, fun, it's going to be fun at the fair, awesome, here we go. And I will adhere that and I'll show you that in one moment. Alright, so I've put the letters and things in place here. I did adhere them with my snail. Oops, got stuck. With my snail, and that was quite easy to do. So we've popped that there on. Next thing we need to do is get the boards that we're going to put the photos on down the front here. Alright, so we're going to go with, what are we going to do first? We'll do that one first. I'm just going to check that these photos are going the right way around. Yep, that's right. Okay, so these are for the entries that my children put into the fair. So all I have to do then is place those out evenly and adhere them on. Now, before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a piece of ribbon, you'll see why in a sec, and I'm going to pop it all the way down the side here. I'll cut that off. Now I think the best thing to adhere this with would be my tear tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run, I want that ribbon to be down about there. Does it look about straight to you? Hope so. It's going on. Alright, there we go. Tear that off. Okay. Tear that tape off. I was just looking just before and realised, look, I am not clashing with the scrapbook page today. It's looking like I've colour coordinated my nails with my project. I think that was just a sheer fluke. Right, we just lay that ribbon down there. Then we'll go ahead and pop on our card onto, whoops, here. Now I've just written in a little bit of pencil that that's the scarecrow. Then we'll stick this one on there. This is the little cupcakes that they entered. And pop that on there. And they did a vegetable critter. And got first place for all of their entries, which was pretty exciting. When I was a little girl I used to do it too and enter the same fair. And I got first and seconds too. So it was really nice for them to say, hey mum, we too can do that. All in fun. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to show you what I'm going to do with the side. Now I'm going to place some ice creams and ice blocks down the side here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you how you can produce those. So you have a piece of white card. You need to get the stamps off, and I'm going to use this stamp here which has a chunk out of it. I'm also going to use this little piece here which is like a highlighter, and then we're going to use the stick for the ice block. Alright, so I'm going to make this one. I'm going to do it a peekaboo peach. So what we need to do is ink up, and of course I don't stamp unless I've got my little paper piecing mat so I get a nice sharp image. So we'll just, oops, we've got a bit of fluff on there. We'll just re-ink that up. And it's literally just place that on and always hold. And the reason I hold is just so that that colour absorbs into the card and you get a really nice finish with your stamp. Alright, next thing you want to do is you want to get your white out. This is the Whisper White. Whoops. And this is our highlighter. Now I tap my Whisper White, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp off once and come back and just place that on there, just like that. Alright, I just find that the lighter, not so dark white looks a lot better. So that's really what I just found. So we don't need that anymore, the white and the Peekaboo Peach. The next colour we're going to need is Crumb Cake. So let me grab my Crumb Cake. Why is it that I move stuff? There it is. Perfect. So let's stamp that up, and then all you do is, because of the polymer stamps, you can line them up. Stamp and hold and lift, and there you have your ice block. Alright, the next thing you want to do is then go to your die cuts. Whoops, and you want to place your die cut over the top of that. I think I actually took it out, and let me just have a look on my stamps. Yeah, I did take it out. So it should be sitting next to me, which is the way, isn't it? It's always the way we don't see. There it is. So you place your die cut with your little chunk out, and you pop it over there and put it through your Big Shot machine, and what comes out is, whoops, I've got one here in Watermelon Wonder. You're left with this gorgeous cut out ice block. Now you'll notice that that stick is quite different in size to that stick, and the reason that is because this set of die cuts smaller than the stamp itself, and that's so we don't get a white ring around the outside, and it gives it a much nicer, tidier look. So you start with that, and that's what you finish with when it's punched out. So it may look big and a little bit out of shape, but it certainly comes into shape once you pop that die cut over the top. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I've just produced the ones that I need for this page. Now the other thing that you can do with the die cuts and the stamp sets is that you can produce wee ice creams and little strawberries, and they get punched out, and I've gone ahead and put some little, I used my white pen and put some little dots on there, so just to give it some sprinkle, and then the strawberry. And this one here, I used a stamp that is in the pack, and it's the chocolate dripping that sits on top, and I did all that and then I cut it out, so that's how I got the even shape. So that's really what you do. Then just place your ice creams and ice blocks up the ribbon and adhere those there. And I'm going to use dimensionals to adhere them, and so there we have that. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab this, this sheet. Now these are the in colour sheets, and they are available in the large catalogue that we have. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some stars, because this is the Peekaboo Peach, the same as what we've used with the cardstock. And I love how all Stampin' Up products colour coordinate, makes things so much easier. So I'm just going to pop a star in each corner of the stand. Whoops, come on little star. He's not lifting off, not fast enough for me anyway. So I'll just lift this one up and pop him on there, and that just adds a little bit there. So I'm going to go ahead now and place the photos in place and show you this completed. So thank you for joining me. I will show you this at the end. Also, actually, I'm going to tell you a little bit about something I just did, which was quite cool. This is another ice cream I've done, and I've done this for the other page that I'm going to do, and these are our pearls that we have available, and I just took the small ones and popped them on like sprinkles. So really all you do is you just slide it under there with your paper piercer, and pop it on, and there you have little pearl sprinkles on your ice creams. Isn't that cool? And you'll see that when I show you the second page completed. So thank you for joining me. I'll put the photographs of the finished product at the end of this video, and what we're going to do is ask you, please, if you would be able to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button. A few people have said to me, does this cost me anything? No, it doesn't. All it is it's just a wee reminder that I've placed a video when it goes up, and you get reminded of that, and it just means that you can go straight to my channel very quickly. So clicking the like button would be something else that would be good to do. And the other thing is, if you do subscribe, click the notifications button. That gives you a little ding or whichever signal you've got on your phone to say that my new video has come in. Thank you for joining me here in Mount Maunganui, New Zealand, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye-bye.